again. There we go. Hi.
Hey.
Oh, brother. I don't like this.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
Well,
brother.
I figured that sounded better than what the fuck.
I mean, that works too.
It's in my nature.
It's in your nature to always be saying, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
See, you always say fuck so much better than I do.
Fuck. Fuck.
See, I sound like a duck. Fuck.
No, you don't. Wait, say it.
Fuck?
No, now you're trying.
What the fuck?
There you go, fuck. It's like a lazy,
It's at it comes from the back of the throat.
Fuck.
I can't.
I can't stand you. Oh, God.
So today,
Lots to talk about.
I need lots of coffee. I'm sorry.
I just have water because I don't know why.
It's okay.
I think I already had 2 cups.
It's hot out.
3.
What?
I don't like hot.
Me neither, but that's all you have to give me is hot coffee.
Well, yeah, because I like that hot. I just don't like hot weather.
Whatever. So today we have lots to talk about.
Do we though?
No, not really.
Listen, I have a lot to say, which is why I'm going to let you go first.
About one thing.
Yes, and I'm sure that you know.
Yeah. So, I'm going to start with the shitty
Social
one.
media. Because we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I guess. If you don't follow us on our platforms, Instagram and Facebook, you can at WAM 617.
Yeah.
So do that, and check us out at our website, wickedawkward.com, because we have shit on there when we can. Mostly episode recaps,
Yeah.
info about us, how you can contact us, share your shit with us,
For real.
all that fun stuff.
We haven't done a game in forever, but it's because they're getting lame
I know.
and repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come up with something.
Don't worry.
Not anytime in the near future.
No.
Because we're lazy bitches. And also busy bitch. How can you want to be lazy and...
It's because we're busy that we're lazy when it comes to some things.
Fuck yes.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
So I watched 2 things this week, unintentionally. But one night I was in the mood for a horror movie, but not really a good one. You know when you're in the mood for I just don't care what I watch.
I started watching Scary Movie Part 1, so I understand what you mean.
Oh my god, I love Scary Movie.
And I realized as I'm watching it that I had never watched it before.
Wait, what? Really?
Are you having issues?
Yeah, leave me alone. My hair got cut.
Yeah. I watched the one with... This is my little hand.
That's
This
the
is my
second
strong...
one. Yeah.
That's the only one that I've seen. And I saw Carmen Electra, and I was like, I don't recall.
Yeah, numero uno. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Those are 2 movies, just the 2, not the 3, 4, and 5, without the Wayans brothers.
I thought... was not aware that there was any more.
You don't need to watch them. Because they don't have the Wayans brothers anywhere attached to it.
Yeah. Like,
So-
what the fuck?
I love those. They're classics. In my eyes.
They're great. So I get what you mean about...
Yeah, but those are entertaining. This was not really entertaining, unfortunately.
So you unintentionally watched a movie that intentionally was bad.
Maybe not. They weren't intentionally trying to make it bad. It just one of those that it just was. Listen, I had seen it on Amazon Prime. I won't touch the table again. I'm sorry.
You drove me nuts last time.
I'm sorry.
Good.
And I kept seeing it on Amazon Prime, and it got to the point where I was like, I'm just gonna fucking watch this. I don't even care if it's bad.
Did you
You
pay
know it's
for
bad.
it?
What?
Did you pay for it?
$3. $3 wasted.
Oh my god. Okay, tell me.
Movie came out last year called Jack in the Box. I don't know if it was just popping up on my Prime.
Give me more.
It's about a demonic Jack in the Box.
No, not ringing a bell.
Anyway, so the premise sucks, but the Jack in the Box is creepy.
It's a fucking doll.
It ain't a doll, no. So, alright, let me start at the beginning. Some dude in England, he's like, oh, I got a metal detector in the field, and this is fun, and this is
one
what
of
I do
those.
as a hobby. And then he finds
The Jack in the Box.
the Jack in the Box.
Like
buried.
Jumanji.
It is exactly like Jumanji, right? But
You're
the thing
welcome.
is like huge. It's like
That's not a Jack in the Box.
it's solid. It's a big cube. It's about the.
It's not a ghost. It's just the guys just trying to get your attention.
Stop it. So it has it's kind of like a keystone where it has like
The
a
music?
combination,
Oh.
and it's all letters, not numbers. So it's only 4. So it's like you have to spell out Jack to open it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, it opens, and the doll that springs out is creepy as fuck. However,
Like Annabelle creepy?
like what creepy?
Annabelle?
No, even creepier. Because Annabelle's not creepy. It's just like, I mean, she's creepy, but whatever. Because it looks like a clown.
I see your point.
Let me pull this up for you.
Oh.
What?
I don't want to have nightmares.
You're not gonna have nightmares. Jack in the Box, 2019.
I can't believe this is a recent movie. It's just like you would think that at this point in life, people would just have good Okay, so this fucking thing looks like Dolby strung the fuck out. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Put that away.
Let's see if I can
Oh!
see that.
Stop it! Oh my god!
So that's the thing that pops
That's
out,
like
right?
Dolby's addict brother.
Yes! It looks exactly like Dolby. Oh my god. Anyway, this American dude gets to work at a museum in England, because they're in England, obviously.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, here's the storeroom that we have to clean out. What's in there? The Jack in the Box. Because the dude, his wife kind of got eaten by the Jack in the Box, so they're like, let's get rid of this type of deal.
Okay.
He opens it, right? He does a little ding, 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 ding. The pop goes the weasel,
Yeah.
which fuck that song, right?
Yeah.
So it pops out, and it's that puppet thing, right? But once you turn the dial, you awaken the demon within. That's in the box, trapped in the box.
I can see how this goes so wrong so quickly.
And the whole plot point is people from the little tiny museum that doesn't have a lot of visitors keep going missing. Geez, I wonder why. So what happens is this looks like a clown, but it's supposed to be a demon, crawls out of the box. So it's not the doll. And like kills people, right? And then you see the dial will turn like after it kills one person. 1, 2. It has to kill 6 people before it gets trapped again.
Oh,
Pretty
good
much,
God.
yeah. So that's the whole movie. Is this kid opens a box, a creepy clown.
What's in the box?
Yeah. And it's on Gwyneth Paltrow's head, okay?
Oh, that movie fucked me up, and I'm never watching that again.
Great movie, by the way.
Oh, God,
7.
it's terrible.
Kevin. Okay, listen, I know he's a douchebag now because of all of his assaults, but I still like him as an actor.
Ugh, I'm moving this again.
Like the early shit.
Kevin Spacey, let's finish his name. So for those...
Alright, while you fix your microphone.
It's haunted.
By Kevin Spacey. He's still alive, though, so it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I think that some people have a very haunting sense of
the storyline sucked because the American dude who opened it was like, oh my god, it's killing people. I need to make it stop. He finds a demonologist.
Why do they always give us such a bad rap?
I don't know. And he's a pretty boy, too.
Us Americans are so fucking stupid sometimes.
Yes, we are.
Oh my God.
So,
put that shit away.
I'm sorry, I want to show you the actual demon. It looks like that, right? Creepy clown. But you see how
why do you
see
have
the black?
Yeah.
It's like the demon. That's a demon, and that's
just
a mask.
It's like Twisty the Clown in American Horror Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I liked the design, because you could see the demon underneath the mask. You know what I mean? They did that in Krampus. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember the movie, but I've never watched it. That's creepy.
Krampus, was wearing Santa's face as a mask, but you could see the monster underneath it.
Oh, fuck this.
But not all, just little pieces. Its cheeks. the teeth. So basically, you got a creepy clown demon. Hello, that's familiar. Killing all these people. So there was zero storyline, but the makeup on the demon was very well done. And he was really tall and skinny too. So he
Who
did
played
like
him?
the
Who played him?
nobody I know.
Oh.
Did
Did you watch Haunting of Hill House?
Oh yes.
The tall, skinny man, the one that floated backwards. That was probably the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's so stupid.
But it's creepy, right?
It is. He's floating like 3 inches off the ground. Completely. And all he does is follow you, but with his back to you. And I'm just like, why is that so creepy?
That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Really?
Love that show.
Can I tell you?
It was just so artfully done.
So
beautiful.
that was probably the only thing out of all the things that that the siblings were experiencing that freaked me out the most.
Mm-hmm.
But the scene where the bent neck lady is just dropping from scene to scene.
Oh yeah.
I was like, and then the one that fucked me up was when she came in between her sisters and screamed out, "You, fuck you, man!" The phone fell on my face, and then I tried to it was awful. It was terrible. Fucking fucks.
Listen, I cried so hard at that last episode, and my dad did too.
What?
Uh-huh. It made him and he never cries unless somebody that we know dies.
Oh my god.
That's
why?
The ending was so sad. Fuck you and your non-emotions.
I've got many emotions you're about to see soon.
I know. So anyway, that movie sucks.
So don't.
Literally 3.9 on IMDb out of 10. Don't.
How many wickeds?
Like 1.
1 wicked?
And that's only for the clown makeup. And I do like the storyline because they explained not the storyline, excuse me, the origin of the demon.
Yeah, what? Can you...
They did explain that in France back in the day, to kind of take all the evil out of the world, they would put a demon in the Jack-in-the-Box, trap it.
Like a Pandora box.
Yes. And then they would, stick it on their enemies and stuff.
How do you get it back in the box?
You need to trap it inside and say this phrase in Latin. That's it. I know, that part sucked, but...
They should have developed that a little bit better. I see the potential of it.
There was a lot of potential, but, again, the only good thing was the puppet design, the doll design, and the demon makeup. That's
where all the budget went.
Exactly. Because the script was non-existent. So...
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, don't watch that.
Oh my god. What else you got?
So, my dad was watching something, and I was like, what is this? Because it had that sexy, detective music that you would hear in, the 30s. The really slow trumpet,
I did not know where you were going when you said sexy. I was like, why is your dad watching a sexy man?
No. Sexy music.
Sexy music.
Remember,
Yeah, I know what to...
You know when they say, the black and white detectives with the fedoras?
Yeah. The very slow saxophone.
It was almost like my soul was like, what is that? He was watching a new show on HBO.
Oh?
Called Perry Mason, which is a remake of a 1957 TV show around the same gist, but HBO brought it back. It's brand new, came out this year. There's only been 1 episode so far.
Oh god.
What?
That would kill me.
I know. I'm so used to Netflix now where you just binge.
That weekly episodes are you're torturing me.
So I have to wait until this Sunday to see episode 2. But Jesus episode 1 was good.
Okay.
Now, Perry Mason, it's all about... Well, Perry Mason is a PI and solves cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 1930s New York. That's a lie.
That's a
1980s?
You said 1930s, I think.
1930s LA, not New York.
Whoa, okay.
This couple, they had a less than a year old child named Charlie, and he was kidnapped. And these people were like, give us a shitload of money. And they have this, I don't even know what it's called, but you know those, like, trolley buses that are attached to the line and they kind of go through town?
I think that's just a trolley.
Yeah, but it's on a hill, like a very steep hill, and they're watching it come down.
Still think it's a trolley.
I know, but it reminds me of San Francisco with, like, the really steep hills.
Yes.
It's like that.
That looks awful.
And, yeah, that does look awful.
I would not want to drive that every day.
And they're like, okay, your kid's in the trolley. Like, you can see him. He's okay. Just leave the money. And they see the kid in some dude's arms. They go rushing out to the trolley. Everybody's left the trolley. The baby's on a bench.
Oh, God.
Baby is deceased.
No.
But they threaded his eyes open.
No!
So that when he showed up in the window, they thought he was living. And that's how it begins. And you're like, what the fuck? And then it turns to Perry Mason getting this case. And it's very much like a detective whodunit type deal. But he's not a legitimate cop. He's a PI.
Because back then those didn't,
Yeah, so him and the local LAPD there's a bunch of clashing. A lot of the LAPD officers are dirty. It was the 30s, so mobs are a thing. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
However, this show is brought to us by, you don't know who he is, but I do, the wonderful Tim Van Patten, who was known for creating and directing Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, you have an obsession with that show.
Yeah, I know, but it's the level of detail and sophistication of it that I love. Because the set dressing, the wardrobe, the accents, the acting, the actors. Accurate as fuck. The music is beautiful. Okay. It's all just very...
How's the storyline?
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, damn. How many seasons of Boardwalk Empire?
There were 5.
I might.
So you can take that and take that ambiance of Boardwalk Empire and give it 1930s LA. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it is equally as historically amazing. They have all the old cars.
Yeah.
And they're legitimately old cars that, you have to wind up and...
Oh my God. Could you fucking imagine if you were late to work back then?
it would be quicker if you run. So, Tim Van Patten, whom I love because of his work on Boardwalk, he also did The Pacific, which was like I forget what war it was, but centered around soldiers and everything.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Again on HBO, because HBO loves that shit. Now, the main actor is Matthew Rhys, who I don't really know from anything else. He was in a shitload of shit on IMDb, did some voice work, but he did a lot of British stuff that I did not recognize, because he's Welsh, so I don't watch a lot of British television. But he's very good. And again, it's another thing where he plays an American so well. I'm like, fuck, he would be British. I know. See?
Even Americans can't do American right.
No. Whatever. Shea Wiggum is also in this, who is in Boardwalk. He was in Waco. He played the asshole FBI agent. Did you watch Waco with me?
No.
Fucking asshole. He was in Kong Skull Island. He's in like a shitload of movies.
Kong Skull... Wait, no, that's not... I didn't watch that one either.
Of course you fucking didn't. He was in Boardwalk. He was a major character in that one, so...
I feel like that hand's gonna backhand me any second. Like, get your shit...
John Lithgow was also in it. Do you know who that is?
I know that name.
Third Rock from the Sun?
No, not that movie.
Oh, Daddy's Home 2 with Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg.
Will Ferrell's in it, so no, I have not watched it.
He's in everything.
And yet she can come up with nothing else.
The Accountant. Have you seen that with Ben Affleck?
Javi has. Which surprised me, because he doesn't like Affleck.
I'm going to show you a fucking picture, and you'll be
How
like,
is it that we're running a fucking pop culture movie TV show podcast, and I know nothing? I know that guy. He was in Dexter.
Dexter! Thank you.
Yeah, he was a Trinity killer.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
See,
fuck? But he's so everywhere. It's like, Great show. So far, there was only one episode. They air Sundays on HBO at 9 p.m. And I am definitely going to keep up with it, because that is my
aesthetic.
Shit.
Yeah. It is.
It is so historically pleasing. In the music, like I said, it's that sexy, slow trumpet.
Do you know how much research goes into that? Like, even if they really wanted to get tedious about it, fabrics and colors.
It's like you went back in time. Like, it's legit.
That's like,
it's so beautiful.
When Ben Affleck... I can't remember if it was Ben Affleck. When he did his movie down here, and they turned all of Essex Street into, like, 1930s. What fucking movie was that?
Live by Night?
Is that what it was?
He was in,
There was, like, old-timey cars everywhere. I was like... Where am I?
Yeah.
I was so confused. I had no idea. My mom's like, I hear gunshots.
I
was like, those are blinks. It's okay.
That's like when I saw The Fighter being filmed. It was supposed to be 70s or 80s?
80s. Yeah. 80s into 90s.
Yeah.
No?
So they had... I can't even fucking remember. But yes, somewhere around then. And they had little kids driving by on bicycles, and they had them dressed in very historically accurate clothes. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, that's 90s, I think. Like, late 80s, early 90s.
And they had all the older cars lined up either
on those 1998 Toyota Camrys.
Pretty much. And they had to... It's just fascinating to watch a movie being filmed because of how tedious it looks.
Yeah.
To get one scene right. And all they're doing is walking down the fucking street.
That's why, like...
But they have to have the homeless guy walking, the children on the bike, the old cars driving past.
You're setting the tone.
Exactly. Yeah, but then they're like, okay, cut, reverse, so all the cars have to go back up the street, the kids have to go back up the street, Hobo's got to go back up.
God.
And then they got to do it all over again.
I remember watching that episode of Monk. Oh, throwback. What? Yeah, bro. So there was this episode where Monk went to LA and they were shooting a film and they had yelled cut and reset. And everyone went to reset, but he has OCD, so he's going around like, no, your umbrella was turned this way, and your hat was tilted this way, and he just went around adjusting everybody's shit.
They actually, depending on the budget of the film, they're supposed to have somebody
that keeps an eye on that shit.
Yeah.
With Sons of Anarchy, it was the cigarettes.
Yep.
If you just lit a cigarette and they yell cut, they dumped a cigarette, here's a new one.
Actually, fun fact... The movie Casino with Robert De Niro, I don't know, this is what I read, that he started a trend where, because the cigarette burns down to a certain length, to make it look the same length, he always held it in the middle.
Oh!
So no matter how long it was, it always looked like it was the same.
Okay.
So instead of holding it at the end...
That way they didn't have to wait.
He always held it above the filter.
Those aren't cigarettes that they're actually smoking either. It's just herbs, and usually it's like a lemony, herby type of thing. Yeah, but I don't think it's anything that you're supposed to inhale either. I just find it interesting how you can tell when it's like a cigarette versus a joint or a blunt because of the way that it burns. And then I wonder... What are y'all doing? You know.
Well, it's like when they drink beer. You know they're not drinking beer.
It's water.
It's water.
And you can tell because it's... Is that weird? Oh my god, I thought I was the only one.
Nope.
So, you have a bottle. First of all, where are the bubbles in the fizzies?
Yep.
There's none of that shit. And I don't know what it is, but the density of water and the density of beer...
Very different.
...is so different.
You could tell, like, on Supernatural that they're fucking drinking water in beer bottles.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm just like, you're lying to me.
I think, though, I remember listening to commentary, though, and I think there was one very early on where they were drinking real beer.
But they got way too wasted.
Yeah, because you're drinking how much?
No, that wasn't... They had given Jensen actual whiskey.
Ah.
And he just went through with it, and eventually he was like, I can't no more. Like, I'm done. But I know they use, like, apple juice for some things, or tea, or watered Coke, or juice of some kind. It's fucking... those are the tiny things that I need to know. Like, what is that?
I know.
What are you drinking?
That's a whole industry. It's like, let's make all these fake beverages.
Or just, like, when they cook dinner, and nobody's really eating. They're just pushing food around. So
that's because if they eat, the food disappears.
Don't hate me on this.
What?
So don't hate me. And the second part, New Moon, the wolf boys, were inside eating chicken, and one of them came out.
Sorry.
She always plays with the fucking cat, knowing that she's allergic.
Sorry.
So he came out and he's like, no, I'm going to really eat the chicken. So then, of course, it's like chicken after chicken. And eventually he's like, I'm going to be sick.
Didn't Jensen go through that?
I don't know.
In like season 2 when they made him eat a lot?
I don't know, but I also know it happened in, again, Sons of Anarchy, in the episode where Gemma got into an accident with Abel and Thomas in the car. And Abel was supposed to be eating cookies. And they kept giving him cookies, and to the point where, like, Charlie was like, you want a cookie? He's like, no. He goes, yeah, bro, I feel you. Like, I'm so sick of cookies.
Yeah.
It's insane. I would just spit it out. That's gotta be awful.
I can't imagine.
Because what happens with those movies where you're supposed to actually eat? Like, you better get that shit on the first take, and everybody else better be with you on the same fucking page.
Or else you're eating some cold chicken.
Or anything. You would just...
Yeah, but they're supposed to have people to monitor that.
How many burgers does Jensen eat? I wonder if they're like veggie burgers.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Because...
we had that turducken sandwich. Do you
I was just
going to
say,
oh, man.
That show was crazy. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Watch Perry
Cigarettes.
Mason. Oh,
Cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Perry Mason on HBO.
Sundays at 9.
Yeah.
I like it so far.
It's good shit.
It just started June, whatever just happened. 22?
Last Sunday.
Yeah.
Last Sunday. Oh, man. That's good. I like that.
Oh, it's so, like...
I'm excited that you're excited about something.
It pleases me.
I wonder how long it'll be.
I don't know. Because HBO, they do, like, the shorter seasons, 10, 13 episodes.
I was actually going to ask you about that.
What?
Because, and this is what I'm going to be talking about today, The Last of Us is going to be an HBO show.
No, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, however, I wouldn't want anybody else to, like, play them.
So, Ashley Johnson is, because Ellie's supposed to be 14. And it's confirmed that the director, what was his name? It's Neil something. I just can't remember his last name. Druckmann. Neil Druckmann is going to be the screenwriter.
Okay, good.
And they definitely confirmed that it will be a story about Joel and Ellie. And there have been, like, fans who are like, oh, they think that so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so should play them. But Ashley Johnson is too old to play Ellie. Oh. Ellie's supposed to be 14. So they're leaning more towards 11 from Stranger Things.
Millie?
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown?
And then...
I do love her, though.
And then other people have said Hugh Jackman for Joel. But I feel like at that point, Hugh Jackman would be too old for Joel.
Yes.
Joel's supposed to be, I believe, maybe in his...
40s?
Yes, because when we first get introduced to The Last of Us, his daughter's 13 at the time, and he's young. He looks like he's maybe in his late 30s, which is what I would be if Kane were 13, mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later...
yeah, he'd be going on 60-ish.
Right. So it's just... which, actually, I think Hugh Jackman is around the same age.
Yeah, he doesn't really look like Joel, though.
He doesn't.
Petition to get Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Joel.
I've heard that. But you know who I think would also work as young Joel? Jensen.
Which works out because he looks a little bit like Jeffrey Dean Morgan when he's older.
He does. So it's just whatever. But it's gonna be about them.
Whoa, that would be so awesome.
I know. And it's funny because I had just finished reading that article, and then I saw this IG quick post where Jensen was saying, "Don't worry, I'll be back on some TV show somewhere." And I was like, "What are you insinuating?
What are you talking about, Jensen?
Yeah,
we kind of need to know
answers. Not that you will ever see this.
Answers, Ackles, answers."
Oh, God. But so I talked a little bit. Did I talk about The Last of Us Part 1 last episode?
I don't remember. We've been talking about it for the past 2 episodes, so. This one over here hasn't watched shit because she's like, this game has ruined my life. And it sounds like it. You know what, though? I don't blame you because from what I've seen and from what you've told me, it sounds like a kick-ass, it would be an amazing movie or TV show.
It's...
because this, you know
why? Blows my mind.
The storyline is on point.
It is. Neil Druckmann is a goddamn genius.
Oh.
So we got the game on Friday. I played a little bit. Not much. And then Saturday came, we recorded, and I said, Amanda, you need to watch this. And you sat down and you watched the worst of the worst. Did I or did I not sob? I was trying to do it very discreetly. I don't think I did a good job.
She was a sobbing hot mess.
We all know it.
But you know what, though? I've never played the first one, and even my heartstrings were being tugged.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this right now. This will contain spoilers, because at the time that this episode comes out, it would have been about a week and a half. Get your shit together or get out right now. So most of us know the story, the first one. I'll reiterate as quickly as I can. So the story begins with Joel. He loses his daughter right out of the gate. Gunshot wound at the very beginning of this. I don't know how to say that. Cordyceps fungus is what takes over. That's technically the infection.
Like, take the coronavirus, but make it
fungal,
and then creating zombies.
Yes, and it's like you get bit, and the infection is usually full blown within 2 days. Okay, so you meet Joel. He loses his daughter. You fast forward 20 years. We're in the north end of Boston.
Shout out.
Yo. It looks like the goddamn north end of Boston.
Ooh.
So it is no joke. These people go out to the sites. Neil Druckmann had said that for the second Last of Us, it takes place between Wyoming and in a town called Jackson, and then in Seattle. And they took 3 days in Seattle to basically walk the path that Ellie would be walking in the game.
All right, finish part 1.
Okay, so quick, right? So we're in the north end. He's a smuggler, kind of a scumbag, I guess. Like, just procurer of all things weird. And
it is the end of the world. Come on.
It is. So there is basically, what did I call it? Quarantined areas that are heavily enforced by police presence and soldiers. And then there's a faction called the Fireflies, and they are basically against the quarantine zones. They're trying to take down the quarantine zones, which I don't understand necessarily why, but anyways. So Joel and his friend Tess are on a mission at this point to find their weapons that they had purchased. They find the dude, find out that the dude sold the weapons, and then this lady Marlene comes in and she's like, yo, I will double your weaponage if you get this little girl from A to B. Basically from the north end of Boston.
Oh, so that's how he meets Ellie.
From Boston to Salt Lake City.
Cool.
Yo.
What?
Yo.
Whoa.
Right? Like, it's no big deal. I'll double your weaponage.
If you take this chick cross country.
Now, mind you, vehicles are very hard to come by. This shit about The Walking Dead and how they get vehicles all the time, 10 seasons in, I don't understand. Because the gas expires just like everything else. But whatever. We'll leave the technicality.
They use corn.
Sure. Because that's growing at an abundant rate.
Of course.
So they have to get there by foot or by horse.
That must take months.
It took almost a year. Because I remember seeing... They were in the summer, and then I remember watching fall and winter. Because it was, in The Last of Us Part 1, it was by seasons. And I remember that it wasn't until the following summer that they got there. Okay. So we meet Ellie. She's 14 years old, mature beyond her years, with the foulest fucking mouth I've ever heard on a 14-year-old.
I love that.
I do too. That? I don't know, but I love it.
Is it because it's like a little us?
Fucking approve.
Approved.
So... She's a sassy little thing, and she's like, who the fuck are you? And this and that shit, right? Talking shit. I
love that.
So they agree to bring her to Salt Lake, and shit goes down south. So Tess is murdered. Marlene is injured and can no longer go. She's like, I need to hang back and heal. Joel, I need you to take Ellie. And Joel's like, I'm not fucking doing this. Remember, 20 years ago, his 13-year-old daughter died.
Right. And she's
horrifically.
The same age.
Yes. They're smart. So he's like, fine, fuck it, whatever. Let's go, kid. And that's pretty much like the basis of their relationship throughout this whole thing, while fighting all the baddies and really bad human beings that are out there. Dangerous motherfuckers. Right? And you're collecting shit. So you go through the motions with some help of friends, and you play Joel the whole time. And I'm assuming it's because, Ellie's a kid. Like, she can only do so much. Eventually, you switch to Ellie because Joel gets seriously injured. And you have no choice but to play Ellie.
I was going to say, a 14-year-old with a shotgun is...
Her thing are knives.
Ooh.
She's quick and sneaky.
See, I like that. That's better.
Yeah, she's all about her knives. I mean, she knows how to use a fucking gun, but she's more about her knives.
Yeah.
So it's up to Ellie to, get food and supplies and whatever until Joel heals. So eventually you see that their bond grows a little bit stronger. You know, they're starting to understand each other. I left out what you find out, what Tess and Joel find out before they confront Marlene, is that Ellie had been bitten. She had a bite mark on her arm. Mm-hmm. They're quick to explain that the bite mark was 3 weeks old. Impossible. After 2 days you're infected. She's immune, bro. She's immune. Let's go to Salt Lake. There's a doctor. He's going to make a vaccine. This is the whole purpose. Tess is like, yeah, we need to save humanity. And Joel's still like, oh, I don't know, man. This is risky. Like, what is in it for me? Blah, blah, blah. Right. Anyways, they make it all the way to Salt Lake. Weaponage? Right. There's no weaponage ever gained, by the way. He gets no weapons. So they make it all the way to Salt Lake. He almost leaves her with his brother Tommy in Wyoming, but decides against it.
So close, though.
They make it to Salt Lake. They get to the hospital. Marlene is there with all the doctors, a shit ton of soldiers. They put Ellie under, and they say, Joel, I'm sorry to tell you, but in order to get this cure, Ellie's gonna die. And Joel's like,
isn't that the same shit?
And you're gonna have to just accept that because this is what she wants. Because Ellie actually wanted this.
Yeah, you want to save the world.
She didn't know she was gonna cost her life, but she wanted her immunity to mean something.
Yep.
And Joel killed everyone. Every fucking person in that bitch.
How beautiful is that?
Did. Including the one and only person who is capable of creating a vaccine. Dr. Anderson.
Uh-oh.
Cool beans.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, you go through your whole battle, which was hard as fuck. I don't know how many days I spent. Anyways, so Ellie wakes up and she's like, what the fuck, man? What happened? Why am I here? Why are we not at the hospital? And he's like, oh, there were dozens like you, and just the cure wasn't working. It wasn't going to make a difference. Lied? Yes, scumbag! And what selfish. How dare you? But thanks, Dad. So he's like, don't worry, baby girl. Like, it's okay. They lost all hope. And she's like, sad. She's literally struck with survivor's guilt.
Because once you make a decision like that, to renege on it is like hurtful.
Like, fuck, man. Yeah. We came all this way. Marlene's dead. Well, she didn't know that. But, like, Tess died trying to get her there. You know what I mean? And Tess, it sucked because Tess got bit. Ugh. You know, and Tess was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to hold these guys off. And she was fucking shot to death. Oh, trying to distract the soldiers from Joel. And yeah. And that was until that we knew of, that was the person Joel was closest to.
So to Ellie, it's like she died for no reason.
Pretty much anything that happened from the moment that her and Joel met, any lives lost, all the shit that they went through, her almost getting raped at one point, for nothing.
Why do people have to be such assholes?
Fucking no. So now, fast forward.
That was only part 1.
This was 2013. Here we go, 7 years later.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. We're in part 2. Ellie is... 20. Oh, so it takes place 5 years, which is baffling. 4 to 5 years after the first one.
Yes.
Ellie's 19 years old. Joel's heading towards a strong 60, probably.
He's got that nice salt and pepper beard.
It's coming in more than what it was.
Gruff.
And he's Texan.
I was going to say, Austin. He's got the accent.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I'm about it.
Yeah, I'm about it, too.
Right? So they're in Wyoming in this little town named Jackson, and basically it's run by Tommy, who's Joel's brother, and his wife, Maria, who we met in the first game. And back then, it was just this little factory is what it looked like that they had, and they've built that into this huge fucking town that it's just working, right?
They have the strongholds.
Yes. There. And you came in to watch me play, which
I did.
I'm going to say this. Love video games. I suck at it.
Me too.
I almost want to start a streaming, like a Twitch stream, because I'm so bad. I feel like I would get viewers.
Yeah, but then you'd get a lot of angry viewers.
That's okay, because that's hilarious.
So
like, why? Because I get it from Javi all the time. Why can't you just shoot straight, Joma? Why can't you just shoot? Why?
Hand-eye doesn't work.
Why aren't you running? Why are you running towards them, not away? And I'm just like, you knew what I'm doing. I'm panicking.
Listen, the only time I feel like you can be an expert at any game is if you played it multiple times. You can't be good right off the bat.
But Javi is, it's true what he says. Like, if you're consistently playing video games, you tend to see recycled things being used. So the fact that, like, okay, there's no door that I can get out of, so how the fuck do I get out of this room? Your mind is supposed to say, okay, either crawl space or something that you can jump over. But as a one here and there gamer, you're just like, oh no, I'm stuck. Do I have to reset? What do I do? Yeah. Like, the logical fucking thoughts just disappear. They just flutter away.
And it doesn't help that there's fungus monsters kind of coming after you.
So that was the big thing in the first one. That was your biggest threat, was the infected. You know, that's what they're called. They're not fucking zombies, for those idiots that are out there.
It's all we know how to call them, though.
And within the it's not the same thing, because they're not dead. They're just evolved into something disgusting.
Yeah.
So it's the infected, and then within the umbrella of infected, you get your runners, who are brand new turns. Then you get your clickers, who are like halfway there, and they're
blind, right?
Yes.
Fuck those things.
Yes.
I don't like that clicking noise.
The runners can hear very well. Well, they can all hear very well, but they all do go blind because the fungus, it's like, it grows. Is that not the most disgusting thing you've ever seen?
It's literally like mushrooms coming out of your face.
So they have that thing. And then you have your bloaters, who are these big fatties who, like, literally, like, bloat spores in your direction.
Shit.
You didn't even see that shit, girl. Psh, they're huge and gross, and they charge at you.
Can you breathe in the spores?
No.
Oh, okay.
So everybody in the Last of Us universe, apart from Ellie, needs to wear a gas mask. Because you cannot breathe in the spores. Right. That's how you get infected or by a bite. Cool?
Yep.
Okay. So, 5 years later... Well, it opens up immediately after, and it's Joel talking to Tommy and basically admitting to Tommy what he did back at Salt Lake.
Lying to Ellie?
Yes. He's like, they could have cured her, but I took her out of there. And now this is my thing with that. Like, yeah, fucking selfish of you, right? Because
kill one to save all.
Right, and this is just a girl that you've known for a year. And I understand, like, you're together, you're bonded and all that stuff. At the same time... Who's to say it was gonna work?
That's a good point too.
Who's to say that would have been a 100? I don't give a shit how sure the doctor was. First of all, and also scientists approve that you don't ever need to die to create a vaccine. That's like not a thing.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the story, they needed some kind of
leverage. Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
So the first one leaves you very conflicted because it's like, motherfucker, like, you're selfish. You could have saved everyone. But at the same time, like, it's Ellie. You don't...
I like when a story gives you that. You're like so conflicted. You know?
Right. And that's basically what this is all about. So he's in The Last of Us 2, he's confessing to Tommy, and Tommy's like, all right, bro, like, I will fucking take this to my grave or until you're ready to talk about this.
That's a true bro.
Correct. 5 years later, there is this awful tension between Ellie and Joel, and I'm gonna tell you right now, as a fan, I didn't like it. I did not like it. And I fucking knew it must be because she fucking knows, or at least suspects.
Oh, okay. I was like, why?
Because because it's either she fucking knows or she suspects. It's one of the two. But they're not in good standings.
Did they go dive into that?
They do later on. Okay. Spoiler alert, which I said earlier. So you watched me play Ellie, or I think it was Joel. And Joel, in the middle of his watch, him and Tommy get lost or something like that.
And it's winter.
Yeah, mid fucking winter in fucking Wyoming of all places. In the mountains. So
those poor horses.
They eventually run into what we all knew prior to the game being leaked as the mystery woman, who's Abby. So we find Abby and her crew, and they're kind of like looking really far back over Jackson. And you can tell that the group is being led by Abby, and she's like, he's in there, our leads are bringing us here, and her friend Owen, who we learned later on that his name is Owen, is like, are you sure? Whatever. She's like, yes. When they see that it's a whole town, he's basically like, dude, we can't charge these people.
No.
Like, there's like 12 of us here, not even. This is a whole fucking town. So the group decides they're not going to go through with this. Abby decides otherwise. You immediately know that Abby's looking over the town and talking about he. Who else would she be fucking referred to other than Joel?
Nobody. That's who.
Because no one else is important. We wouldn't give a shit about anyone else. Okay.
It's Joel. Always Joel.
So you start off playing as Joel, then you move on to Ellie, and then you play a little bit as Abby.
Which scared you half to death.
Bro, how many times was I saying I don't want to do this?
Every other second.
Because I'm pretty sure I had said, I think a while back, I'll bet you anything the reason why Ellie is so mad is because they kill her girlfriend and they probably get raped or something. Because unfortunately, that seems to be like a nice basis for everybody to
in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, to put their plot on or whatever. But then, I think after we recorded, I was like playing as Abby, and I was like, I have a feeling that what's really bugging her, or what's really upsetting her, is that Joel dies. And then when I started to play as Abby, I was like, if they make me kill Joel, I will shut this shit off right now. And I will agree with everyone who hates this fucking game.
I mean, yes, for a good story, kill your darlings, as Stephen King says.
Yes.
But don't make them kill them. Like, that
I tortured the fuck out of Violet in my book. And I think I told you that, what is it about us wanting to torture the shit out of our favorite characters?
Because that's what brings the readers in.
I guess. So,
but still, it sucks if you'd have to kill him.
So, Abby gets stranded away. She now finds herself against a horde of infected, and fucking Joel and Tommy are the ones that save her. And I immediately was like, no. Look, you remember, right? Like, I didn't. Because in my mind, I was like, they're going to make me fucking kill him, and I can't do this. I love Joel too much. For all his flaws and imperfections, I fucking love this man too fucking much.
And that's poor Ellie. You create a good character.
Poor fucking Ellie is going to be completely destroyed. This is not okay. So,
it continues.
He fucking follows her up to her little cabin.
Nice
him
cabin,
and Tommy,
by the way.
I think it was like a hotel or something.
Yeah, it was nice.
So him and Tommy go, and a lot of people were mad because they say that Joel would have never let his guard down like that. But what you have to remember is that he has been living in peace for 5 years. And people,
that's a long time.
People come by and they were trading and, just recuperating and moving along. And it's like, I saw the podcast with the director and then Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker, who play Ellie and Joel. And it's like they said, they're looking for hunters and they're not finding any. These are regular civilians. So there was no threat. And he least expected it from Abby, a girl that's Ellie's age.
Mm-hmm. Listen.
He gets fucking maimed.
Maimed.
In the leg. Like, that motherfucker.
With a golf club.
At one point, well, she shot him with the shotgun.
What? Yes.
And then it just looked like it was just dangling there. And then she proceeds to beat the ever-living shit out of him. And it is clearly evident that she knows him.
Oh, yeah. You could tell there's so much anger behind it.
And the thing is, it's like, when Tommy's like, oh, my name's Tommy and this is my brother. And then he says, my name's Joel. You can hear a pin drop in that fucking room. And immediately I was just like, fuck you. And he's like, why do you guys seem like you've heard of us? And so they attack him and they pin him up against the wall. They knock out Tommy. And Abby's like, take a guess as to who I am, basically. And the fucking level of regret on this man's face, it is just palpable. Like, I've never been affected by a video game like this.
And I was going to say the graphics for this, obviously it's motion capture. So this is a real man emoting.
Stellar.
It is phenomenally gorgeous.
And
thank you, PlayStation.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog,
yes.
Sorry.
They're the so, and I'm going to reiterate what I told you off air. In that interview with Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, they basically asked them, like, how did you prepare for that scene? And Ashley was just like, you don't know what you're going to do until it happens. You don't know what your voice is going to sound like. And let me tell you fucking something, Ellie, I fucking bought it. I've never seen anybody under so much distress and just completely fucked. And she's like, at one point she's like, there was just this one moment where we're both on the floor and our eyes, meaning her and Troy, they locked and everything else fell away and it was just them two.
How fucking heartbreaking is that?
Waterworks. She started crying. And then Troy got wicked choked up because he's like, to me, I've never been through anything like that. So I could only basically fall back on when Sarah died, who was Joel's daughter. But he said that his biggest concern was Ashley because she, in real life, has suffered tremendous loss. And he didn't want to prolong this awful memory for her more than he needed to.
Yeah.
So he wanted to nail it on the first shot before moving along.
But they got each other there.
It's insane. Like,
it was so well done.
I couldn't from that very first blow. And first of all, do you know what came to my fucking mind? Was Opie.
Oh. Yeah.
So I'm just like getting hit from both sides. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't want to. I don't. And it's just like, they keep fucking zooming in on his poor fucking face. And you can tell he's like trying to open his eyes and talk to Ellie. And she's over there saying, Joel, get the fuck up. Like, please don't do this. Final blow. Bro.
Tears.
I had to hide in my shirt.
Tears. Let me tell you.
I had to hide in my shirt.
That is the first time I've seen anything of The Last of Us. And it brought a tear to my eye. It was just like, well, fuck.
It was gruesome.
It was.
I could not.
There was a lot of emotion there, but again with the motion capture, like, it's brilliant.
I know, down to every fucking eye twitch.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, of course, when this happens,
I love that technology.
I know, and it just keeps getting. So they talked about how, like, if you see clips from the first one compared to this one, you're gonna be like, that's a joke, right? That can't even be the same fucking thing. I'll show you. It's insane.
Did they do motion capture for the first one?
They did, but it just, so this is what I was going to get at, right? So you see freckles, wrinkles, sweat,
dirt.
They are even able to manipulate the redness of your eyes as you get emotional, and the way that your tears build up and fall.
And how it looks glassy and everything.
It's insane. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, mind blown complete. And this is still like, so The Last of Us Part 1 came out, I think it was when the PS3 was first introduced. And now this is at the end of the PS4 life, because now we're going into PS5, right? So it's just, the amount of difference is just
amazing.
Mind-blowing.
But it also just goes to show how much work goes into creating video games, and how long it takes, and how many actual, like, designers and artists you need to work on this shit, because
unbelievable.
If you want it to be stellar, you need to dedicate more than just a little bit of time.
Yeah, so I think The Last of Us Part 1 had started their project back in 2009, and it released in 2013.
Shit, yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2, they started working on in 2012.
8 fucking years.
It's insane. Insane.
So you can see the difference.
Yeah, no, it's evident.
Yeah.
Wait until you fucking see it. It's ridiculous. So, Joel's now dead. And this is like, when this leaked, people were fucking furious. Because in everyone's mind, you just killed the main fucking character at the very beginning of the game. News flash. Joel was never the main character. The story was always about Ellie. Yes, they built a bond. Yes, you got to know Joel because you're playing Joel. But the whole point of The Last of Us Part 1 was to make a cure for the infection. Making that cure meant we needed Ellie. Okay?
She's kind of the center point of it all.
Yes. Joel is her entire world. When we met Ellie, she had no family, no parents. Everyone had been killed.
Yeah.
So here comes this man who
Takes her under his wing.
had no business, really, to have to do this. He had no obligation to her.
He wanted his guns, though.
Yeah, well, which he never got, which really still upsets me. But, it's just, I think people forget that when we heard that The Last of Us 2 was coming, a lot of us knew or suspected that Joel was going to die at some point. Did we suspect that it was going to happen immediately, like fucking 45 minutes into the damn game? No. It wasn't 45 minutes, but still. But it was going to happen. They're like, oh, it got disrespected because of the way that he was killed. He would never be that stupid. He wouldn't let his guard down.
We're all fucking human.
Rick did it. What the fuck? Rick did it. It happens. At some point in a world like that, you have to learn how to breathe again. How to just let go a little bit. And if that ends up being a fucking mistake, then it is. But you can't just live your life. And it's like, I understand their basic instinct is to survive, but you also have to be open to humanity. Like, if not, then what the fuck is it all for?
Exactly.
So, Ellie is absolutely beside herself. Tommy is the same, but he's like, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna go after them. But Ellie's like, hungo, like, we're going to Seattle. We're gonna find this bitch and we're gonna fucking kill her.
I love that. Go, Ellie.
Tommy leaves without her.
Yeah, he does.
He left without her.
Because he didn't want to put her in harm's way.
Right. But then the wife was like, go get my man.
Yeah, she was. That was funny,
so,
actually.
Ellie was like, okay, Dina, her new lover, let's go get my dad. All right. I mean, fucking bitch that killed my dad. And so they go on this journey on the way to Seattle. Seattle day 1. This literally takes place in 3 days, which is absurd. Unfucking believable. I
just love watching you, like, where the fuck do I go when you're in the woods?
Well, there's like so many paths. I'm like, wait, this way? No, this way.
Oh my God.
No, that way? Okay.
Just follow the fucking horse. Yeah.
Those are gruesome scenes, by the way.
What?
The death scenes. When they fucking kill you, it's terrible. There's one that, like, grabs you up here and down here and just rips your face in half. I think it's in the first part. Forgot. Anyways. So,
it's beautiful.
The gameplay is very smooth. It's very fluid. If you move left, they kind of just, like, do this swifty thing or whatever.
It's not like a...
It's not like a...
solid, yeah.
Yeah, it's just... I love the fluidity of it. I love the clarity of it. I love the attention to detail down to the fucking twigs. The way the leaves rustle where it's crunchy or where it's wet. The way the rain hits the walls. All of it. When we first meet Abby, how they're in that snowstorm and they make it inside, you can literally see the snowflakes melting into her hair.
Naughty dog, you naughty dog.
I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how much better can this get? You play guitar... and you literally have to strum, if you know a PS4 remote, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, down to, like, the little cuts on there. I can't get enough of it. I can't.
Yeah.
So, I digress. So, we fall through playing as Ellie, and basically Ellie is trying to track where Tommy went. And we all know that following Tommy leads to finding Abby. So, half of the game... you're doing your upgrades, you're collecting your shit, you're evading clickers and bloaters and fucking... what are they called now? Shamblers? Those are fun.
What's a shambler?
Oh, God. It's so much worse than a bloater.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad. I think they're bigger. But they're still runners. They're still clickers. Shamblers. The bloaters are still there. We now have stalkers. Who are fuckers. Who hide and don't come out until they can attack you.
Wow.
And then there's fuckers that are, like, growing into the wall.
The fuck?
And then eventually detach and, like, chase after you. It's fucking terrifying. A lot of this takes place in dark, dank fucking places that are broken and wet.
Yeah.
Not fun. You've got fucking dogs that you have to kill.
Ah!
I just shoot so many
dogs. Are they infected dogs?
No! They're just dogs that are... they tell you to... What I loved about this game, as playing Ellie, we're still here, is there's so much humanity brought to it. So back in the day, you would fucking kill somebody and they would just drop dead. And nothing. Now you kill somebody, you hear them choking on their own blood, gasping for air, crying for help.
So in other words, the realism is real.
Yes. Guts blown out. You can hear... Brad from up the hill. Oh my God, they got Evan. They're bringing humanity to the people that you're killing. Yeah. Even the fucking dogs. Douche. What? Bear, no. And you're just like, oh my God, I just killed Bear.
Listen.
Like, it's so bad.
Naughty dog, don't do that again.
Oh, I'm convinced that Neil is a cat person. I'm like 100. Someone needs to ask this man this question.
What? Why?
He just went kill. Yo, if I didn't shoot it, I was hacking at it with something. It was awful.
I don't want to play this
game. It was oh, you have to. So
I don't want to.
It basically leads, I'm skipping over a bunch of shit, but I'm just giving you the highlights because we're already at an hour. So you're playing as Ellie through all of this. Eventually, Dina gets sick. You find out she's pregnant, so she has to stay behind.
How's she preggers?
Because their friend Jessie was with her until about a week prior to her starting to date Ellie.
Okay.
So she ended up pregnant that way.
I got you.
I don't know how that's... Like, we didn't see the relevance of Dina. I didn't care for Dina.
She just got in your damn way.
Until I realized why Dina was there. I'll get to it. So, you eventually catch up with Jesse out in the wild. Excuse me. And you two go off to find Tommy together. Eventually you split because Abby's one way and
Tommy's the other.
And Tommy's the other. And Jesse's like, listen, we have to get Tommy because we don't know what's going on. And she's like, fuck that. I came here for a reason. I'm going to go kill Abby. She doesn't say much, Ellie, throughout this entire game. She is so focused on her rage.
Tunnel vision.
Exactly. It's almost like she's not even likable. Because there's nothing there. She's not giving much.
Can you blame her, though?
No. So, eventually, Tommy and Jesse catch up with you after you kill... There's a fucking... Oh, it's attached here. Sorry. After you kill Owen and Mel, who are friends of Abby. Owen is an ex-lover of Abby's. Mel is Owen's new girlfriend, who's very pregnant. And Ellie killed them both.
Wow.
And when she realized that Mel was pregnant, it really fucking... Ellie killed so many people up until this point. Anybody that was in the vicinity of that room when Joel was killed...
They were gone.
Done. And people beyond that. Now, mind you, the only reason Ellie and Tommy are alive is because Abby said to leave them be.
Yeah.
She went there to kill Joel. She killed Joel, and she didn't take more than what she needed.
I'm sorry.
Than what she needed. She didn't take any more than what she needed. She went there on a mission, she fulfilled her mission, and she fucking left. At that moment, I was like, big fucking mistake.
You should have killed Ellie.
Well, Abby. Oh, well, yeah, true.
Yeah.
They should have killed Ellie is what they should have done. But then the game would have ended.
True.
So... They all catch up to each other. Dina's still very sick. They all go back to the movie theater. And Ellie comes up to Jesse and Tommy, and they're looking at a map, and Tommy's basically saying, look, I think it's time to go home. Like, we've killed everybody. We've killed everybody. And Ellie's like, yeah, but she gets to live. And he's like, well, are you going to be okay with that? And at that point, she was okay with that. She's like, I'm going to have to be because it's costing her too much.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So, Tommy...
This bitch gets away with it, though?
Hold on. Tommy wanders off, leaving Jesse and Ellie behind. They hear a commotion, a ruckus. They follow the ruckus.
No.
Open the doors.
No.
Jesse gets shot in the face, drops dead. 2 shots towards Ellie. She ducks and covers, and it's fucking Abby.
Of course it fucking is.
Foot on Tommy, gun pointed at his head.
Oh, God.
Ellie, get the fuck up and drop your weapon. Ellie's over here like, I'm the one that you want. I know why you killed Joel.
Do we?
In a second.
Okay. I want to know.
I'm the one that you want. He had nothing to do with this. And this is the moment where I truly felt bad for Abby. Because the look on this bitch's face is absolute sorrow. You killed all my friends.
She did.
Basically saying, you killed all my friends, and I let you live. So, it fucking cuts. The screen goes dark.
Huh?
It just blacks. Nothing going on. Suddenly you wake up. And you're young Abby. Do you know how long...
Wait a minute.
No. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Do you know how long it fucking took me to gather everything that I needed for upgrades and ammo and health kits for me to now be the villain who killed my dad and have to upgrade all my weapons all over again?
Wait, what?
You play the fucking game all over again, starting back 5 years ago.
With Ellie.
With Abby.
Sorry.
With Abby. Young Abby. Searching for her dad. She finds her dad. They save a zebra. Don't worry, it's not important.
Okay.
Her dad is probably the most wholesome man I've ever met in my life.
Oh.
He's so nice, right? So nice. So
I can see where this is going.
So they save the zebra with Owen's help, and this is the point where Owen and Abby are dating, or they're starting to date. They're only getting flirtatious, you know what I mean? So they are walking along. Do you know where they end up?
Where?
In front of the hospital where Joel massacred everybody. Do you know who Abby's daddy is?
The doctor.
The fucking doctor! The fucking doctor. So now, this is what's going on in my mind. Fucking Joel. Fucking...
It turns it on its head.
This whole fucking thing becomes where Joel and Ellie are the fucking villains. This entire time.
If that ain't the plot twist of all plot twists... Shit.
And all of a sudden, I'm like... So in that moment, I'm like, fuck. And then Owen starts to talk. That girl is here that we've been waiting for. She was bitten. And you're like, oh, shit. No, this is it. This is why Joel died. Because you killed her dad.
The whole time you're saying this, I'm like... It brings that whole thing of... The people that you're following, i.e. Ellie and Joel... Are they really the good people? Like, who are the good and who's the bad?
This is the thing, though. In a post-apocalyptic world, there is no good and bad. Everybody.
It's just survival.
All of you do shit that's good and that's heinous. How many fucking people didn't Rick and his crew kill?
Lots.
How many fucking when they went up to Herschel's farm, they literally were plotting taking over the fucking farm.
I know.
So,
but
how
they're
is...
the good ones.
Exactly. But how is this any different?
It's not. But I'm just saying, like, it's interesting.
Yes. So never in the history of video games have I seen something like this. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I just personally have not seen it. Where suddenly you're in the villain's shoes and it turns out that she's not the fucking villain at all. She's actually just like a very merciful person looking for revenge. Because she could have killed Tommy and Ellie.
She could have.
But she didn't.
Because really, they didn't do anything.
No.
And then they killed someone.
And now you're thinking like, fuck, Ellie went and killed everybody. Joel killed her dad. And then Ellie went and killed all of her friends and her love interest, along with all those dogs.
Fuck that.
So then at that point, I'm like, yo, fuck you, Joel, and fuck you, Ellie.
How does this end? I, like, need to know.
Okay, so now you play... almost an equal amount. It's probably a little bit shorter for Abby because it goes by a lot faster. Like, so like the shit that you need to like upgrade your weapons, it's not as open as a world as it is for Ellie, where it's like a lot of fucking searching and digging around. And there's like less places for you to check, and there's more of an abundance of things that you need. Yeah. So you upgrade Abby pretty quickly. Now, this fucking awful thing happens, right? Because you follow Abby. She finds her dad and he's dead, and then you flash forward to, I think it's probably like a couple nights after Jackson, or a couple weeks after Jackson, where she killed Joel. And you find where she's living, and it's fucking dope.
Really?
These people have their shit together. They go by the Wolves. I forget what the fuck it stands for, but that's the faction that they belong to. So you also find out that Abby and her dad were part of the Fireflies.
Course.
And if anything, she just wants to get back to the Fireflies. There's rumors Owen was a part of that. They just want to get back to the Fireflies because they don't necessarily like the Wolves. She's fucking jacked, like bigger than Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, crazy. You could see.
Yeah, so you're following her storyline and the fucking kick in the nuts, man. The kick in the box that you get. The kick in the box. She is personable. She's funny. She's charismatic. She's nice.
And the whole time you're like, fuck.
And the thing is, she walks around with this heaviness to her. And at one point, her roommate Manny and Mel, who's Owen's pregnant girlfriend, have to go to headquarters to meet Isaac, who's the leader of the Wolves faction. And at one point in all of that, you know, Mel turns, because Abby kind of fucked Owen, like hard, like from the back. It was graphic. I was uncomfortable.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It was weird as hell.
She fucked him from the back?
Like, she turned the fuck around and he fucked her from the back.
Oh,
he hit it.
I was like...
He hit it.
Okay, I was like, how did she...
Read between the lines, man. So...
You said she hit it from the back.
Okay, fine. My bad. So, clearly Mel knows something happened. And she tells Abby that she's a piece of shit and she always has been. And Abby doesn't deny any of this. And I realized in that moment that that's the heaviness that she's carrying. And I just have to add that when she, right before she took that last swing at Joel, there was a moment of hesitation.
There was. I saw that.
She just like, she really for a second thought about it. It's almost like she needed to redirect her brain to...
Am I really doing this?
And not only that, but there's a good reason why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Final blow. And it almost seems like throughout her story arc, she carries the guilt of killing Joel. It's almost like I feel like she feels guilty because you would think she would feel relieved. But that's not it. She's just very tense all the time and
yeah. There's
just this heaviness about her. I'm like losing my breath. It's a lot, guys.
This is hefty. And this is just a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Y'all need to appreciate video games more. Because I don't play them, but I appreciate them because they are just the same amount of artistic endeavors that movies and TV are.
And it's crazy because, you know, when you hear, like, oh, the book was better than the movie, if this was a book, the game would be just as good as the book.
I was going to say a book would be hard.
I don't think it could even describe the things that you see in the game. It's insane. So we get to you're following Abby's storyline along with flashbacks as well, and it's all happening simultaneously to what you played with Ellie.
Yeah,
it's all happening at the same time, and you can literally, as you're playing Abby, you could be like, "Oh my god, Ellie's right behind her! Like it's right." I know exactly where Ellie is in this part. This is insane. And you're just wondering, like, oh my god, when are they going to catch up? So you eventually get to a point where Abby becomes a traitor to her own people.
Ooh.
So Abby was told that she was not to go after Owen because Owen went missing. And Isaac had said to her, you need to report to headquarters because I need you for this task or whatever. Honestly, I wasn't, like, too concerned about the task. So she's like, okay, well, if I'm going to be the leader of my own crew, then I want Owen. Where's Owen? And he's like, don't worry about fucking Owen. Just fuck Owen. She's like, nope, I want Owen. So she goes after to find Owen. And in doing so, she's now AWOL. And in doing that, she eventually gets arrested.
You can still get arrested in the end
of
the world?
Well, believe it or not, they have to build, like, these little governments.
Yeah.
So she ends up... at the hands of another faction it's like a cult. They're called the Sephirites or some they call them the
like
Scars.
They
call them the Scars. They literally like cut each other from. It's awful, and they all wear the same fucking trench coat.
What?
Like, what outlet did you find that you have all found the same fucking? No. So, she gets caught by them, and their fucking thing is, if you're not a part of their cult, they string you up. Hands behind your back, and they literally gut you open, and they just let you die. And
ain't that the shit?
It looked like Abby was heading in the same fucking direction until she was saved by two young kids, a boy and a girl, who were part of that crew. But then in turn, they also became traitors to their cause.
This is complex.
It's bad. So there's like this whole involved thing where like the girl from that other crew, her arm needs to be amputated, so she brings her to Owen, and Mel's there, and she's a surgeon, and they go on this fucking scavenger hunt for supplies. It's awful. You die a lot. You get back. You escape with the they're technically girls, but one of them identifies as a boy.
Okay.
So the girl's name is Yara, and then her brother's name is Lev. And eventually, Yara gets killed, but before she fully dies, she kills Isaac just before they go to kill Abby. It's a fucking clusterfuck of a mess. Now,
sounds like it.
Just to reiterate, Ellie's killed everybody that Abby has ever loved. Her own faction has turned against her. Her leader is now trying to kill her. Abby knows nothing other than torture and defeat at this point.
Yeah.
And starting over. And you really start to feel for this girl.
My God, they just turned this whole thing on its head.
And the whole fucking time, I'm just like, I really fucking hope that Abby doesn't die. Even after what she did to Joel. Even considering Ellie's
the
anger.
The worst thing was going to be Joel's death.
I did. So then you get to the point, after you find Owen and Mel, it goes back to that part at the movie theater where she's now got her gun over Tommy.
Yep.
She fucking shoots Tommy twice. He's fucking dead as far as you know. And this is where the first fight between Abby and Ellie happens. And you are playing Abby. And I'm going to tell you, I've never hated my square button so much as I did during that fucking fight. Because I didn't want to hit Ellie. I did not want to hurt Ellie. But I didn't want to hurt Abby either.
Shit.
It was some conflicting shit.
That is conflicting.
It's awful. But the thing is, I keep going back to, like, I love Ellie, but she's the fucking villain. She took everything from Abby.
Abby took everything from her.
And her everything was just Joel, but it's...
That's a lot. That's hefty.
I've never been this conflicted in my life. So then it goes back to you playing... Anyways, it just keeps going back and forth a little bit between, you know, you go back to playing Ellie, and then there's another part where you go back to playing Abby, I believe, and you end up in fucking Santa Barbara.
Okay.
So basically what happens at the movie theater is, in a fair fight between Abby and Ellie, Abby wins, hands down. She left Ellie there half dead, and she had Dina by the fucking throat with a knife to her throat. And Ellie goes, she's not a part of this, she's pregnant. Well, good. She goes to slice her throat open, but Lev was like, Abby, don't. And Abby, for the second time, left Ellie alive.
Should have learned the first time.
Right? So then, this is turning into some shit. So then...
We're just trying to get to the end.
I'm sorry, but it's so involved because it's almost like you're telling 3 fucking stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, about 2 years have gone by because Dina since has had the baby, and the baby's saying little words.
Yeah.
Like a few phrases. They're out in the country, in this farm, everything Dina ever wanted. Ellie seems at peace, but still troubled because she's having PTSD. So, like, she went to get a goat from underneath a fucking bench, and the fucking shovel fell, and it banged, and immediately she thought of Joel and the death and everything, right? So...
Goddamn goat.
It was terrible. So, Tommy shows up.
So he ain't dead.
No. Gimpy leg, blind in one eye, sits down, heard about from this fellow traveler that there's a lady built like an ox with a little Asian kid with cuts on his face. This is Abby.
Yeah.
And you can see all over Ellie's face that she's not doing this. She's not gonna. So Dina speaks up for her. Ellie tells him no. And he's like, you fucking bitch, you promised me. The thing that got me, he was ready to go home.
Yeah.
At the movie theater. But because he was maimed, and now he's the one that's hurt, apart from his brother being killed.
He's like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah, now he really wants to get revenge. And you fucking promised me, and he guilts her into doing it. And this is where the importance of Dina comes in. And this is what I've yet to hear on any other podcast or conversation that's going on about this game. The entire point of Dina being there, as annoying and useless as she felt,
and how much she gets in your way,
was that Ellie had it all. She had a family, a baby that depended on her, a girlfriend that was good to her, a comfortable home. Are you going to stay with your family, or are you going to choose revenge? That's why Dina was there, to create that conflict. Clearly, Ellie left on her own to chase after Abby. Abby heading to Santa Barbara to find more fireflies, which is because in Owen becoming AWOL, they had said that he had killed his partner, so he was wanted for murder by the wolves. So he was going to flee to Santa Barbara to find more fireflies.
Yeah.
So she makes it with Lev, and they're fucking captured by rattlers It's another faction that beat the ever-living shit out of both of them.
Yeah.
And then, at that point, you're playing as Abby. And then you switch back to Ellie. There's a lot of bouncing around here. So, Ellie makes it to Santa Barbara. There's a lot of fighting, shooting going around. She almost fucking dies. Again. She fell into a trap. And it's one of those things where, like, it hooks you by the leg and it pulls you up.
Oh, yeah.
And on the way up, she swung into a tree with a broken branch and she got impaled.
Ah.
Yeah, and she, like, just fucking bled out for, like, days.
Oh, shit.
Before they fucking cut her down.
And she's still alive.
Yeah. And she was able to kill 2 motherfuckers after hanging upside down like that.
That's a tough bitch.
Yo. The way that it went down, I'll show you. It's fucking amazing. Javi's like, yo, I never doubted her ever in my life. And I still don't. So, she finds where they're holding Abby, and she goes there. And she also finds a bunch of other prisoners. This is after, like, a huge fight that goes down. And the prisoners tell her, like, Abby tried to run out to shore. She's on the post.
Yeah.
Bro, let me fucking tell you that if this girl hadn't gone through enough, this is what they did to her.
Oh, my God.
You find Abby, skinny as fuck. Shaved head. Arms above her head, tied to a post. Like, you know, like a crucifix, but without this part.
Yes.
And she's calling out for help. And the fucking person she sees is Ellie. The last thing that she ever said to Ellie was, don't ever let me see you again. So, Ellie cuts her down. Abby cuts Lev down. Which I honestly thought they were going to leave her up there. They didn't. They cut her down. She picks up Lev. And Abby says to Ellie, the boats are this way. Like, I'ma help you. Let's get out of here. I know where the boats are. The fight that ensues between Ellie and Abby.
Oh, they do? That's what
Bro, and now I'm Ellie. But the thing is, we're both half dead. At this point, it's a fight of will. And Abby's like, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you. That's what she's telling Ellie this whole time. Ellie puts a knife to Lev's throat, and she's like, yes, the fuck you are. So they go at it. And she has Abby. I'm sitting there, hitting my fucking square like this. I don't wanna. That's how I am the whole fucking time. It's awful. Sorry, guys. It's awful. And there goes the fucking flashback that fucking kicked me in the ovaries. And it's Joel sitting on the porch on a cool night playing the guitar. And he just looks up at her and smiles. And right there, she just let go of Abby. Oh, after Abby bit 2 fingers off, by the way. It's disgusting.
I mean, it's a good thing she's not infected.
Well, Ellie is, so I wonder. I don't know. But, well, she technically is, but isn't. So she just tells Abby to go, and Abby gets in her boat, and she fucking sails away.
Come sail away.
Yeah.
Come sail.
And I do agree with this. I wish that they would have given you the option of either kill Abby or let her go.
Oh, like a decide your own ending.
I did hear that, and I was like, ooh.
That would have been nice.
That would have been fucking dope.
That would have been cool.
And the next thing you see is Ellie standing in front of her old farmhouse. She walks in, and the entire house is empty except for her room. And then this fucking really got to me because she picks up the guitar to play, except she's missing 2 fingers. The guitar that she plays is something that Joel and her bonded over. He taught her how to play. And it goes into this other memory. And it is the last memory and the last exchange of conversation that she had with Joel before he was killed. So she expresses that she's pissed at him, that she can't believe he took that away from her, that choice, and that she doesn't know if she will ever be able to forgive him, but she's willing to try. And that's the end. And I think that, like Ellie, I'm more mad at Abby, not for killing Joel, but from taking that away from me. From me being able to reconcile my relationship with him.
That's true, yeah.
I think I'm more mad. Like, yes, obviously, she fucking killed him and you're enraged. But I think that by the time that the movie theater scene came around, she had let go of that rage.
Yeah. And then it just like...
And then she told Dina, she's like, I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't stop thinking. And I think at that point she was just mad because she never got a chance to fix things with him.
So it's like unfinished business.
Yes. But then she gets there and she fucking bails.
And Dina bailed too.
Well, we don't really care for Dina. And I think that Neil understood that. And that's the end. Sorry, guys.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just bonkers that this is a video game. Yeah. Like, this sounds like a book series.
And people are so furious.
I don't get that.
But you know what? Neil said it. Out of the fandom, 50% of y'all are gonna love it. 50% of you are gonna fucking hate it. And it's like I told Javi earlier, regardless of what side are you on, the fact that we are still talking about this, that this conversation is still happening, that people are so passionate about it, is worth everything. Whatever Neil was aiming for, he fucking nailed it.
I was gonna say, you're still playing it, you're still talking about it, it's still gonna be relevant, regardless of your feelings at the end.
It sold more than 4 million copies, even after it was leaked.
Which is impressive, and it's only been out a week.
Yeah. I've cried so fucking much.
Really?
I have. Because it's like you're in that it's like they're each other's boss fight in a video game. They're both equally badass. And you're just like, I don't want to hurt Ellie. I don't want to hurt Abby.
Yeah.
But someone has to pay for all of this. But it's like, do we kill each other? Do we both just go on?
Do we just live our own lives and sail away into the sunset like Abby did? I don't know.
Telling you.
That's intense.
Some very it's been
complex. Like there's many layers to this.
Oh my god. And
it's not just kill the zombies, it's so much more than that.
And the growth of the characters. Like it's just
character development is everything. Regardless of medium.
You saw it. It's just you saw Ellie like live in her rage, and then you saw her live in like fuck, like I didn't even honor him. I couldn't fix shit with him. Okay, I'm gonna fix it. And then it's just like, but is this right? Like, what is this gonna do for me? It's like as she's drowning her, she's having those thoughts, and she's having her flashbacks of Joel, and she's just like, what is this gonna fucking solve? Joel's not gonna come back. I can't tell him that I forgive him. She's gonna be dead, but so what? She's already half fucking dead. She has nothing.
I know.
Fuck. So it's just like, I don't know. That's
intense.
It's really something that you should experience. And those people that are out there that shut off the game after Joel's death, like, turn that shit back on, man, and just fucking finish. I don't give a shit how long it is, how tedious, how annoying. Just fucking finish it.
Sounds like a good time. Well,
a good week.
A complicated, emotional roller coaster.
It's a good week.
Time.
You should at least play the first one. It's about 12 hours.
God damn.
You split that up in like 4 3-hour days.
Yeah, let me just grab a PlayStation. Oh, that's why my brother has one.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, oh my god, you don't... Does your brother play it?
Mm-mm. It's not his game. It's not his...
His bag, like
his
you
bag.
say. What does he play?
More fantasy anime stuff.
Ah, I see.
Well, no. I mean, he does play like
shooter games. No.
Any RPG type stuff, but of course he's still loyal.
A lot of Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah, Javi loves that shit
too. Very loyal
to
Mario. So like, there's a new Paper Mario coming out.
Dude, I burnt the fuck out of Super Mario Sunshine when it was out for the GameCube.
I remember you telling me that. He still has his GameCube.
He can lend it this way any day he wants.
Because we had Luigi's Mansion, man.
Oh, I remember you. That was the last game you got hooked on.
On the Switch.
Yeah.
And that took me about 15 hours. But
I don't think it's that long of a gameplay either.
It ain't. That's how much made us sucks.
Yeah. No, I do too. I think I put in like 32 to 36 hours. That's literally a week of work.
And can you imagine there are people out there who get paid to play games?
Yeah. Because they get paid to play them and then review them.
Well, yeah.
But then there's also those fuckers out there who get paid to find the bugs.
Yeah.
Fucking easy money. Well, not really, but you know what I mean.
Fun money.
That's a good way to put it.
Fun money.
Yeah, but then it's like you probably have to play some really awful shit. Games. Yeah. This is not one of those things, regardless of the bandwagon that's going around. Which it is what it is. That's... Oh, Joel died. I'm not going to play this. Shut the fuck up and grow the fuck up already. Jesus Christ.
Grow a pair.
He's not the main character. It's Ellie. And I just love how this fucking game just takes it and just flips the goddamn table. There's a lot of
twists in that.
It just flips the table. I'm not sorry about the spoilers. This shit came out last Friday. Today is Saturday. This will be out on Wednesday. Most of y'all probably won't listen until Thursday or Friday anyways. Yeah, 2 weeks. Get to it.
Listen.
I'm done.
She's done. I'm done. I'm hot.
I'm out of breath.